All right, I'll just open up the questions, right? I've been yelling and screaming all night, right? I will say this, I guarantee the guys I'd be exhausted fighting tonight. So I'm pretty tired. I'm exhausted, right? Don't have a whole lot of voice left, but that's a good feeling. So, with that, I'm incredibly proud of our guys, right? 2 weeks ago, and I told them in the locker room, we left San Antonio kind of battered, bruised. Our egos were beat up, our bodies were beat up. And, this today speaks so much volume of our locker room, our players, our staff. Incredibly proud of them. And, what a great win for our program here at home.
All right, we got to start with the performance from Quinton Jackson today. You knew he was good, but what did you see today on the field?
Well, I'll say this. I'll go on and plug it. If he's not conference player of the week or, national recognized player of the week, people aren't paying attention. I said this on my post radio brief comment, right? If there's a young man across this country plays with more heart and plays bigger and more explosive and harder than number 10 does in our program, I like to find him. And, I think one thing you saw out of Q-Jack today, and you saw it out of quite a few guys on the offense side, I felt like for the truly first time, you saw a lot of trust and confidence in some of the things that we were trying to get done, some of the things that they've done a lot this year, and we just missed on a couple of things. And I've said that a lot, how close we were. And a play here or there. And today, they trusted each other. They trusted the concepts and the game plan, and they executed it phenomenally. Really proud of them.
Yeah, and can you talk about the growth that you visualize for the offense coming out of the bye versus how it displayed today?
Well, I think I said going into the bye, and then I said it after the bye, the things you want to get done in a bye week, you want to get healthy, and you want all phases of your program to grow. And I really wasn't sure if we were able to grow because, the first week in the bye week, so many of those guys, Quinton didn't practice, right? Ty was resting his body. We didn't do much with him during the bye week, right? And those two guys you're going to talk to in a minute. Chase didn't practice. So I didn't know if we were able to grow. But now reflection, they certainly, that means they paid attention to meetings. And then when we hit the second week and everyone got back to practice, that growth really was evident on the field.
And then can I ask you specifically into the fourth quarter, you had a 4th and 1 deep in your own territory. What's going through your head right there, and why'd you make the call you did?
Oh, no, you got to punt that. I'm an aggressive coach, but I mean, you can't take the risk of putting them in field goal range at the end of the game, right? The worst case scenario, we thought right then, the defense had really set in and played a phenomenal second half, and we thought, hey, let's punt it. Worst case scenario, we're going to go to overtime. Now we got the ball back again, right? Because our defense did a great job. So, that wasn't. There's hard decisions throughout the game. That wasn't one of them.
And then you brought up the defense, best third down performance y'all have had this season.
Yeah.
What they do that made that so effective?
Well, I said this in the locker room afterwards. I thought the adjustments our guys made were really crucial coming out of halftime, and probably no more than what our defense made at halftime, right? The adjustments they made to try to get a little more pressure, make your quarterback uncomfortable, right? And really did it with some zone concepts and the occasional man concepts in there. And I thought our guys just locked in and played a much better half of football. And, the third downs, we've been talking about it just like the offense. Like, hey, you're close. It's not like we were far away from making plays on third down. We were there a lot in those first, 7 games. And so, I think today you saw them come through, make some plays, right? And we made them uncomfortable. And when you make people uncomfortable, right, now you're giving yourself an advantage.
It was a low-scoring back and forth second half. Can you talk about just the reset or the message going into overtime to kind of rally the troops and score?
Well, I think it was a battle of field position second half, right? We went on a 90-yard, I think, drive to score, right? We got pinned back numerous times inside the 10. And so I took a risk one time. We about threw an interception, right? So you got to be careful there. And so that turned it more into a defensive battle. And, our defense, because we had poor field position, they didn't always have we didn't always put the defense back on the field in great field position. They made some crucial stops around the 50 to prevent them getting in field goal range. So what a great overall team effort in that second half. And then the reset, we thought we had stuff there all half. I mean, we were very confident that we could move the football, we could get yards. And when you put us down the red zone, I mean, that's who we are. right? And so I was very confident once we went to overtime that we were going to be able to operate our base stuff, and we saved a few things, right? You know, the speed option, Chase hit. We hadn't called that all game, right? We saved a few things. We ran a triple out the back into the tight end alone. The play Q-Jack scored on was a triple option to the tight end by himself. We got trips on one side. We saved those for overtime, and they hit. You know, sometimes they don't hit. They hit tonight. They hit because good football players have the football.
I did want to ask you about those triple option concepts. I remember talking with you in week 2 or 3, and that was a part that really wasn't hitting yet. How huge is it that the big plays in this game, a couple of them are based off that triple option concept?
Well, I think it's really big. I mean, and I think one of the things that coming out of this bye week we were able to do, we were able to get some misdirection. Yeah, we had some misdirection in today. Our inside zone misdirection had some misdirection with Chase, right? Some QB run game. And I think that made them uncomfortable. I know we got our misdirection inside zone going in the second half, and it really made them uncomfortable. It forced them to play more base defense. And now we think we got a leg up, and then we can get some triple going. You know, we saw some triple in the second half, some of those flat reads by Chase, you know, getting a slot underneath. That's a triple concept. So, you know, it's just a matter of continuing to grow. And there's a lot more growth. I mean, we'll celebrate. We'll be excited tonight. I hope our guys enjoy it. You know, but, you know, I look forward to seeing how we're going to grow next week.
And then just coming off the first 7 games you had, how hard it was coming into the bye. Obviously, every win is good. But how much did the team need to win and need to win like this?
Well, I mean, we needed a win. I don't hide from that, right? You know, we're coming off 2 really tough losses, right? At Navy, then back home against Florida Atlantic, where I thought our guys played really hard. And then we go on the road, battered and bruised, and not such a good loss. And so we needed a win. But if you live in this building all the time, and Matt, you're around us a lot, you see us practice, right? You watch our energy, you watch our work ethic. So I knew that we had this capability in us, and it's just when was it going to hit? And that's a really good football team we beat. All right, thank you. Go Owls.
I'm good. All right. I don't want to keep you waiting. What are your just raw emotions coming after a game like that?
To be honest, I'm exhausted. I could just lay down right now, but it's a great feeling. You know, we've been through a lot of hardships the past 2 to 3, 4 weeks, so it really feels good to see our celebration walking up that ramp and, you know, in the locker room and the guys celebrating, dancing. You know, we haven't had that feeling in a very long time, so I'm just excited for the guys. You know, we're going to enjoy it for a few hours, but we got a short week coming up this week against Memphis that played a very good game this coming today. So we just got to be prepared and move on and get ready for Memphis.
And I know you've kind of made a career out of supporting your teammates and being excited for other people. What's going through your head when you get to the end zone in overtime and you see 100 people coming to tackle you?
It's a dream come true because if you ask myself, like coming in, I was kind of nervous. My freshman year, kind of nervous. Like, can I do this? Can I play at the D1 level at this size? And, you know, my dad always said, just embrace it. You're built for it. You've always been a fighter your whole life, and I'm just blessed. God put me in this position for a reason. You know, it takes a lot of hard work and dedication and a lot of trust, and my teammates trust me. And I'm just thankful to be here. You know, I love Rice. They gave me an opportunity of a lifetime, and you know, Coach Abell gave me another opportunity of a lifetime, and I'm just happy to be here. You know, it's God never fails, and he put me in this position for a reason.
And what's it like just watching this offense grow from Louisiana? Y'all score 12 points to tonight, where just everything kind of seems to click.
I think we're out there having fun. You know, I think the past few weeks we weren't having fun. We were thinking too much, you know, not trying to make a mistake, playing scared. And I think this week we played out there and just let it loose. We didn't have nothing to lose, you know. Practice all week, we played with high emotion. You know, the defense was cheering every time they got a stop on when we were doing team period. Offense cheering when we got a first down on team period. So I think we were just out there having fun. And, you know, I think we believed in each other. You know, when we was having a drought, defense picked us up, and the defense having a drought, we was picking the defense up. And, you know, we play for each other. We love each other. You know, Ty Morris up there, he's one of the leaders of the defense. You know, he's cheering us on every time they got to stop. He's like, come on, come on. You know, we just believe in each other, and we have just great chemistry all around. And it was just exciting. You know, we've been waiting for a game like that for offensively, and I'm glad it came. And you know, it didn't take 4, it took 5, it took 6, actually. So, you know, I'm just proud of the growth of the team and, you know, the leadership all around.
Coach mentioned your candidacy for Player of the Week in the conference, and then obviously you guys play on ESPN2 Friday night. Can you talk about putting a national spotlight on both yourself and Rice as a whole with a game like this?
For me, I don't really care about the attention of myself, you know, playing on ESPN or you know, national recognition from anybody. You know, I just want to go out there and play for my team. You know, my teammates deserve the recognition more than I do. And you know, it's always good to be recognized, but I don't go out there and play for the recognition. You know, I go out there and play for my teammates, go out there, play for Rice, go out there, play for the fans. But it's always good to be recognized. But you know, I don't play for that. You know, I just try to do what I can do to win a game. But it's always good to be recognized. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Right, Ty, I'm sure you're pretty exhausted too. Can you kind of take us through overtime? You'll hold them to the field goal, and you go over it, saying something to the offense. What was
I
happening?
mean, overtime, we just had the mentality like it's on us. Like we gotta stand up right here. We know offense gonna put the ball in the box every time. So especially going against them spring to fall camp, we know we have confidence in them, especially going over there. And energy played a big part when it comes to like the hip hooray, like when we get a third down stop, when they get a first down. So it just all goes together, and we're excited.
How big was it that this was a game where it took everybody? Had some big plays, long punts on special teams.
Yeah.
Defense had to stop. The Blue Jackets the last score.
Yeah. I mean, it's big on everything. Like every little play matters. Like maybe a play that happened in the second quarter or the beginning of the second quarter, like all the chips lay where they fall, and everything matters. Every play matters, and we're just excited that we got this dub today.
And what was it like at halftime? Coach talked about some of the defensive adjustments that you made. What was that conversation like, and what really was the difference in shutting down their offense in the second half?
We just have to play our football. We had a little bit of mental bust when it comes to like the coverages. We just have to look ourselves in the mirror and show that we're that defense that we've been talking about all year.
UConn was 5 for 17 on third down, had to settle for 8 punts, and then settled for that field goal in the last overtime. Can you talk about just the energy and the confidence that comes with getting off the field like that and getting big stops?
I mean, the confidence that came from we've been preaching get off the field third down since the bye weekend this week. So that's just the main thing that it's nice to see that it paid off because we've been preaching third down, get off the field on third down with the hip hooray every time we get a third down stop. So that's awesome.